This message, in a way, is food for thought. It's a message for those who feel dissonance beneath routines, a sense that something internal has shifted. It requires more reflection from you as the viewer rather than us just telling you everything you need to know. It may resonate well for anyone who does not feel motivated by external milestones, finding yourselves questioning momentum instead of chasing it. This is for the private, deep thinkers with excellent pattern recognition. For those who've reached a point where clarity matters more than comfort, accuracy feels more valuable than affirmation, intuition is functional. If this sounds like you, we invite you to stay. There are days that announce themselves loudly, like today. The usual trend is that the Gregorian New Year comes in explosive, literally. Parties, celebrations, surrounded by those we know and maybe those we don't. Anyone else feel today's evening has settled in? Now, quiet, unassuming, almost daring you to overlook what transpired in 2025. The 111 portal arrived with fireworks for some, with a pause for others. That curious pause is what we want to delve deeper into. From a psych standpoint, our human mind is wired to seek continuity. We prefer narratives with momentum, stories already in motion, because beginnings demand responsibility. A beginning can feel uncomfortable when it removes excuses. On a day like 111, the psyche almost feels invited to observe carefully. A quick side note, this number has been notable in our own human experience over the last couple of weeks, more as a synchronicity rather than cause and effect. If this number pattern, 111, has been noticed in your life during moments with personal meaning, perhaps in moments of decision making, awakening, realization, and it feels qualitatively different from random observation of the number pattern itself. Whenever this video finds you, we invite you to let us know in the comments below. Synchronicity, as Young coined, is a curious thing, and we'd love to hear from you. All right, back to our contemplation. Shifting into cognitive psychology, which actually rejects synchronicity, identity is reinforced through repetition, but change begins with interruption. In the spiritual space, we can employ the 111 to act as a subtle disruption, a reset point where the mind becomes aware of its own default settings. 3 ones suggest orientation. Here, we can ask ourselves, not emotionally, but neutrally, what assumptions am I operating from without realizing it? Which beliefs feel true only because they've repeated long enough? Where am I mistaking familiarity for alignment? Today, this evening, this moment here and now, wherever you are, following this 111 portal. Whenever this video finds you, this is a timeless moment for mental calibration. Mathematically, the number 1 is foundational. 1 is not a quantity, it's a unit, a whole in and of itself. The multiplicative identity. It's the starting point for counting and measurement. Before multiplication, before addition, before scale, there must be definition. 1 separates nothing, 0, from something, 1. In this way, it represents presence rather than absence. In systems theory, stability emerges not from complexity, but from clarity at the base level. A structure collapses because its foundation is undefined. In this spiritual space, let's say 3 ones do not equal 3. Instead, let's allow them to represent 3 confirmations of origin. In sacred geometry, creation begins with a single point, also referred to as the monad. Let's allow 111 to mark a rare numerical moment where sequence becomes intentional. The alignment of origin across layers, the month, the day, the year. We can choose to think of this day as checking whether the blueprint still matches the building. No expansion yet, no manifestation, only verification. Esoterically, but grounded, the number 1 represents entry. This is because it marks the first moment of movement out of the unseen and into experience. From nothing to something. A threshold number. Threshold, as another side note, is a theme that seems to have begun appearing in our own readings for the year 2026 thus far. Ancient systems treated 1 as the point before polarity, before yes and no, before light and shadow, before the dyad. Before 1, there is 0 representing the void or infinite field. 1 is the first distinction, a point appearing in emptiness. That point is entry into existence. 1, sitting between the significant 0 and 2, places it in an especially exciting position. 3 repetitions of 1 do not open a door. They place you in the doorway, the in-between, the threshold. This matters because standing in a threshold requires honesty. 1 symbolizes awareness saying, I am. This is the moment consciousness enters form, identity, or a journey. In this space of awareness, we can't rush forward without noticing what we are carrying. 1 is associated with will, focus, initiation, command. Think of the magician in the tarot. Entry requires decision. 1 is the moment intent crystallizes. In this space, intuition is directional instead of emotional. You may notice a sudden intolerance of half-truths, a resistance to roles you've outgrown, a clarity that doesn't excite but steadies you. That steadiness, That's the signal. The mind often treats intuition as mystical, especially in today's world. But intuition is, put simply, pattern recognition operating below language. We can frame today, 111, as a day where intuition sharpens because patterns simplify. As we create this spiritual meaning, we can flow to a space where there's less noise, less symbolism, less narrative decoration. Only the question: does this path still make sense if I remove momentum from it? If the answer is unclear, that's not failure, that's data. We invite you to collect it. This day favors discernment over decision. You need not act today. Instead, simply see. And you're meant to stay in a place of seeing for as long as it feels right, not comfortable, intuitively right. We invite you to reframe the purpose of today. Instead of thinking the 111 portal asks you to become someone new, consider playing with the idea that today is asking you to verify who you already are without the story you tell about it. Affirmations aren't required, declarations aren't necessary, only this quiet audit. What am I building from? Is it intentional? And if I had to begin again, would I choose the same foundation? We invite you to allow your imagination to run freely, wildly. Flow or stumble into the I am. If you feel calm, you're aligned. If you feel resistance, something is revealing itself. Both responses just are. This was a day of precision, leaving space for the unfinished, the foundation for the year ahead. Precision, when honored, changes everything without ever raising its voice. We hope this reflection met its purpose, designed for the moment before decision, the pause before action, and the awareness before change becomes visible.